I had been Avery's girlfriend for 10 years. Yet he still refused to touch me. Every time I tried to seduce him, he icily brushed me off. If he wasn't not in the mood, it was work wore me out. Left with no choice, I spiked my own drink, writhed against him. He violently pried my arms away, hurled me on the bed, and stalked out. I've no interest in a bitch in heat. The drug was ferocious. Shame came second to survival. Shaking and sobbing, I speed-dialed his best. I'm dying. Can you come save me? Before we go on, please subscribe to this channel and tell us in the comments where you're listening. Adrian arrived fast. He kicked the door in, rushed to the bed, and yanked the quilt around me. Blanket and all, he hoisted me up and headed for the exit. Hold on. I'm taking you to Massachusetts. His coat carried the sting of frost from outside. For a second it sliced through the fog in my brain. I couldn't go to Mass. Too humiliating. I twisted and kicked, trying to slide out of his arms. He only tightened his grip. I freed a hand from the quilt and hammered his chest. Put me down, I won't go to Massachusetts. His pecs were springy, fists sank instead of bruised. Still, he didn't yield. He even glowered. Quit it. Sick people go to Mass, get shots, take pills. His voice was rough, the rumble drumming into my ears. All fight leaked out of me. I whispered, please, no hospital? Maybe I looked pitiful because his tone softened. Don't be scared, I'll stay with you. Quiet, comforting, and inexplicably heartbreaking. Too embarrassed to squirm, I curled into him. The last crumbs of sanity burned away. With beauty in front of me, restraint never had a chance. The drug only fanned it. I palmed his chest, squeezing more than once. Then asked the urgent question. Do you have an 8-pack? Adrian finally sensed something off. He stopped walking and looked down. Worry still clung to his face, confusion layering over it. What did you just say? I lacked the strength to decipher. I only saw lips full and red. Wanted a taste. I want you. He frowned. You're delirious with fever and still refusing Mass. Delirious was right. Every thought screamed, kiss me, touch me. I wriggled another arm out, grabbed his collar, and launched upward. Missed his chin, landed on his Adam's apple. Afraid he'd drop me, I hooked my arms around his neck. The quilt slipped off my shoulder. Unrestrained, I rubbed higher. I reached his ear, ready to bite, and rasped. I don't want Mass, I want you. Adrian froze like a statue, letting me cling. After that, everything followed a brutal logic. Adrian saved my life, and nearly took it. I lost count of how many times I cried. His savage words ring clearest. Serena, look hard, who am I? He asked again and again. Hesitation only spurred him harsher. But my eyes worked. I dialed him myself. Of course I knew. When the sobbing got ugly, I almost regretted the call. Yet the drug was vicious. Few men had his stamina. Aside from his temper, the experience rated high. More important, he was gorgeous. Fair skin over lean muscle, a faint cool mint scent. Before sleep claimed me, I thought. First time and I landed that. Worth it. In my dreams Avery appeared. I ran to tug his sleeve. For once he didn't shake me off. He even embraced me, bending to kiss, Casey. Then Adrian's voice cut in. Look hard, who am I? I jolted awake, staring at Adrian. Rubbing my eyes, I forced a smile. Morning. Propped on an elbow, he studied me. Pretty calm. Remember last night? I played dumb and shook my head. He smirked. Allow me to remind you. He rolled over me, gaze dropping. Memories of begging on your knees made me shiver. I remember, everything. I backtracked. He let it go and lay back. Asked if anything hurt. Did I need Mass? Get evidence while we're there. We can report who drugged you. I asked how he knew I'd been drugged. He said last night's state fit the pattern. Any enemies? And where was Avery? Adrian's face turned stony. I stammered the truth. I'd roofied myself to seduce Avery. He fled, tossing insults. Adrian's expression blackened. I apologized fast. Sorry, I didn't know who else to call. At the time my body burned, but my head was clear. Adrian and Avery were friends, often at parties together. He had no girlfriend, didn't chase the wild crowd, just watched. Unlike Avery's buddies, he never called me doormat. He silenced jokes. When Avery sneered that I was stupid, Adrian countered. Don't speak about a woman like that, it's trashy. Respect was obvious. I could count on him not to shame or blackmail me. Adrian sat bolt upright, torso streaked with red scratches. Even an idiot could see rage. I scrambled up too, clutching the quilt. Look, for a guy this can't exactly count as a loss. How about I pay you? He'd seemed into it. Now this scowl? Fine, call it hiring a male escort. That lit him hotter. So last night was a loss for you. Didn't I keep asking? Do you know who I am? Look who's with you? Fury mounting, he seized my wrist and dragged me close. Or did you keep pretending I was him? Skin on skin, I shamelessly traced a palm over his abs. Fearing backlash, I yanked free and retreated. No way, I could never mix you two up. He stayed silent a long beat. Finally asked, voice hoarse. You love him that much, enough to drug yourself just to be with him? How much do I love Avery? Fair question. One worth unpacking. Avery and I go way back. Our family's empires have overlapped since we were kids. His parents brought him to our house all the time. He was bright-eyed and pretty. I was powdered and doll-like. Dylan, his dad, joked and set up a childhood betrothal between us. Whenever we played make-believe, he always cast himself as the groom and me as the bride. Back in Dylan, I had no worries because I was Avery's little princess. He was the handsome, loyal knight at my heels. But in middle school, Avery began to change. He still came to my house with his parents, warm and attentive in front of others, another person altogether when we were alone. When I asked what was wrong, he would only sigh that he was tired. Serena, I'm not like you. Your parents will pave everything for you, but I have nothing. Gradually, I learned his father had cycled through several wives and Avery had half-brothers scattered everywhere. His mother was young and beautiful. He was likewise gorgeous, so of course his father doted on them. Yet the affection was hollow. He had to obey to be sensible, to outperform his brothers. I ached for him. Still, when I confessed, he turned me down. He said his earlier kindness was only at his parents' request. I had been a girl he needed to keep sweet, nothing more. And I, he claimed, never loved him, only the way he treated me. Green and reckless, I refused to take no for an answer and threw a tantrum until he agreed to be my boyfriend. The adults applied pressure, and he finally nodded. We were young enough to believe good looks guaranteed affection. Surely devotion would finish the job. I promised I understood him, begged him to relax, insisted our house be a refuge. Little by little I stopped being his princess, and he became my prince. I poured tea, peeled apples, handed him tissues, sure proof of love, or why would I volunteer? Habit hardened into years. Familiarity bred contempt. He liked to say people like me were stupid, spoiled by elders, babed by peers, happiness mistaken for wit, blind to malice. Survival, he argued, must be drilled at home. Genuine feeling is fantasy. He kept me around only because my family's empire propped up his father's. Since you insist on the girlfriend title, you can have it, just don't expect anything else. I considered walking away, but the years of pity and effort felt irretrievable. I believed I was 1 inch from his heart. 2 weeks ago I chatted with his assistant. She said you capture a man's heart by first capturing his body. Ellis, you're gorgeous. Let Jamie sample you once and he'll be hooked. Physical desire is the seed of real love. Half convinced, I bought skimpy silk, swallowed the tablets she supplied, and summoned Avery. There was no awe in his eyes, only revulsion. Serena, you're hopeless. Believe anything anyone tells you. When the drug flared, I reached for him. He flung me off. I don't screw a bitch in heat. Before heartbreak could land, my body ignited. Curiously, the face that surfaced first in my delirium was Adrian's, cold as carved ice. When I stayed silent too long, Adrian lifted the quilt to leave. I'll keep last night quiet, he said. There's no shame in loving someone, but don't humiliate yourself for him. His voice was flat, arctic, emotionless. Yet the moment he snapped, I felt wronged. He wasn't wrong. I had been stupid, trusting Avery's assistant, imagining sex could glue a man in place. Still, I knew this was the last time I would humiliate myself for Avery. The all-or-nothing gamble had been a final test of his heart. Physical disgust, after all, can't blossom into affection. I sniffled. It won't happen again. Instead of leaving, Adrian dressed and brought me water. If you ever repeat this stunt, use a lighter dose. I choked on the first sip. He took the glass and thumped my back. If he still doesn't want you, call me. I'll come get you. The coughing fit returned, squeezing tears from my eyes. I sobbed against his chest. Adrian, thank you, but Avery and I are finished. Once my tears were dry, Adrian talked gently. Love defies logic. Later you'll laugh at yourself, but inside the storm who can see clearly? To me he isn't worth one of your lashes, yet you love him, so it is what it is. Just take care of yourself, tell me anything. I'll be your best friend. After last night, we're already closer than most. Right then Adrian wasn't cold or severe. He felt like a small, steady sun. My eyes brimmed again. I just said it's over with him. After what we did, how could I face him again? Adrian remained gentle. Desire is human. And after that roofie-grade aphrodisiac, it wasn't exactly your free choice, was it? I promised confidentiality. If neither of us talks, no one will know. No, that was wrong. Concealing an error is just another error. What's done is done. I'm going to tell him. Adrian laughed under his breath, and ruffled my hair. All right, have it your way. Hungry? I'll borrow your kitchen and fix breakfast. He cooks well. Sitting opposite him at the table, I could almost pretend we were dating, sweet, ordinary, effortless. Adrian, have you ever been in love? He shook his head. What kind of girl do you like? Or, don't say you like men. Adrian looked as if he'd swallowed a fly. Think back to last night. Tell me, are you a guy? Heat flooded my cheeks belatedly. Joke, okay? No need to bite. He bit off a sausage, chewing slowly, Adam's apple bobbing, indecent enough to make me glance away. Still doubting my orientation? Want an encore to double-check? I shook my head hastily. Maybe next time. My thighs are sore. He severed the last bite, swallowed. Fine. Next time I'll be gentler. I kicked his shin under the table. By the way, your last period started on the 12th, right? Startled, I nodded. How did he know? Then no pill required. You're in the safe zone. Odds are low. It took me a second to catch his meaning. I rolled my eyes. Safe isn't foolproof. What if it takes? He stacked the plates. I'll take responsibility, if you'll let me. At the sink he added over his shoulder. Only if you want. Adrian rolled up his sleeves and began washing. He was right. After last night we were undeniably closer. Before, his icy mask kept everyone back. Jokes like these would have been unthinkable. I picked up my phone and messaged Avery. Avery, we're breaking up. He didn't reply until afternoon. Moonlight 3:01. Bring a sundress. Saying it to Avery's face really was better than firing off one more text. When I stepped into the hallway, I found Adrian asleep on the couch. Afternoon sunlight poured through the windows, gilding his face. Actually, he was even better looking than Avery. But usually he was so cold, so humorless, an iceberg. Asleep, he looked almost gentle. I turned to grab a blanket, planning to let him rest. After breakfast, he had stripped the bed, dabbed ointment on me, and tucked me in. He had washed the silk sheets, the duvet cover, even my dirty clothes, and hung them to dry. Lunch was his again, whatever he scavenged from the fridge. I'd foolishly thought he wasn't tired, complaining between bites. Totally unfair. Same night of sex, and I'm half dead while you're bouncing around. He didn't seem like any seasoned expert either. Last night he'd made me cry at the start. Adrian ladled soup into a bowl and handed it over. I work out, the muscle isn't decorative. I went back to sleep afterward, assuming he would slip out. Turns out even he could crash on a sofa. The instant I draped the blanket, he opened his eyes. I've got an errand. Stay and rest. When I turned to leave, he caught my wrist. You're meeting Avery. I'm coming. I hesitated. He was already dressed. They invited me to the same lunch, same route, no drama. I rode shotgun, eyes fixed on the receding scenery. Adrian kept silent. At the stairs, I tugged his sleeve. You go first, I'll wait. Being seen together still felt awkward. He paused. Forgot something in the car. Outside private booth 301, I gripped the frame and breathed. Jamie, Serena still isn't here. Think she actually got mad. It was Avery's assistant. One of Avery's best snickered. Please, Avery is her universe, she wouldn't dare. Gotta hand it to you, Avery. Serena spiked her own drink and stripped naked, and you still kept it zipped, legendary. Avery drawled, I've seen better. You call her hot. To me she's nothing special. Lola's cuter. Lola, his assistant. You should have snapped a couple photos, given the boys an eyeful. Yeah, a trust fund like Serena isn't everyday merch. You walked out last night. She's probably still humping the mattress. The chorus of laughter rose. Even Lola doubled over in Avery's lap. Avery, smart move recording it, otherwise we'd miss comedy gold. I pushed the door open. Lola perched on Avery's thighs. She tried to stand, he pressed her back down. You're late. Bring the dress. I shook my head. I came to break up, not to play maid. He slammed the beer bottle onto the table. Then peel off what you're wearing and let Lola have it. Lola pouted, stroking his chest. You're overreacting, just a splash of wine on the hem, no big deal. She turned to me. Ellis, hope you survived last night. I really thought I'd be parked outside your place till dawn. Jamie's self-control shocked me. More guffaws. Serena, admit it, you can't even seduce a guy properly. Yeah, we all placed bets Avery would nail you. Someone crooned in Avery's voice. I don't mount a bitch in heat. The jokes kept coming. Avery, I'm here to break up. I stood in the middle, blinking hard. Last night's fearless plunge was nothing but their punchline. Avery had even embellished. That I stripped to tempt him. Whether I had or hadn't no longer mattered. Serena, not worth the drama, Lola's way cuter. Lola, his assistant. You should have snapped a couple pics. Let us see the trust fund in all her glory. Yeah, a princess like that isn't easy to bed. You walked out, she's probably still humping the mattress. Laughter exploded. Avery's lazy voice floated again. Next time I'll shoot a video for you guys. I pushed the door open. Lola perched on Avery's lap. She tried to rise, he held her down. What took you? One arm around Lola, the other lifting a beer, Avery asked, Got the dress? I shook my head. I came to break up, not to play maid. He slammed the bottle onto the table. Then take off what you're wearing and give it to Lola. Lola pouted, fingers splayed over his chest. You're overreacting. It's just a drop of wine on the hem. She faced me. Ellis, you okay? Honestly, I thought I'd be waiting outside your place all night. Never figured Jamie could resist. More laughter. Serena, you're hopeless, can't even seduce a man right. Yeah, we all placed bets Avery would bang you. Someone mimicked Avery in falsetto. I don't do bitches in heat. The room howled. Even Lola doubled over in Avery's arms. Smart move recording it, Avery comedy gold. Avery, I'm here to end this. I stood in the middle, blinking hard. Last night's reckless courage was now their punchline. Avery boasting I'd stripped to seduce him. Whether I had or hadn't no longer mattered. Serena, what on earth did you see in him? Worth that much time, that much heart? Through tears Avery's figure blurred, distant and strange. Ooh, Avery, she's dumping you. Cornered dogs jump walls. Cornered Serena dumps Avery. Careful, Serena. If he says yes, you'll be sobbing and crawling back. Ignoring them, I pulled a velvet box from my bag. Your mother's jade bracelet, returned. Avery glanced at it, lounging deeper into the sofa. Mad now? I warned you. Insist on being my girlfriend, and that's all you'd ever be. Lola wanted proof, so I gave her a show. Bottom line, Serena, you're just dumb. A tear slid free. Yeah, dumb enough to think sincerity could thaw ice. I wiped my cheek and slid the box across the table. We're done. Goodbye. Did I say you could leave? Avery's voice curled in scorn. Wow, playing hardball, actually dumping me. Lola flipped the lid and lifted the jade. Gorgeous. Jamie, if she doesn't want it, can I? She started working it over her hand. Avery smirked. Serena, that bracelet is for the woman Mom thinks I'll marry. Change your mind while you still can. Keep it. Looks better on Lola. I'd seen finer jade in my own vault. This one meant nothing. Lola flashed her wrist under Avery's nose. Pretty. He kissed the back of her hand. Gorgeous. Yours now. The pack looked from him to me. Serena, apologize before it's too late. Using a breakup threat? Risky move. Bet she'll beg on your knees and you'll still give the bracelet to Lola. I put my money on Serena, official girlfriend and all. I back Lola. Avery said she's cuter. Lola met my gaze, triumphant. Ellis, thanks for the gift. I exhaled, smiled. Wish you two every happiness. I turned. Avery's footsteps followed. He seized my wrist before I could reach the door. Serena, I told you, strip off your sundress and hand it to Lola. I'm taking her to the hotel later, and I don't want her reeking of stale champagne. The rest of the room hooped and whistled. I spun around and slapped him across the face. Silence fell like a guillotine. Avery touched his cheek, stunned. The next second he swung back. As I jerked my head aside, Adrian barreled in, shoving Avery hard. He planted himself between us. Avery tried to push past. Adrian locked both of his arms. Adrian, get the hell off me. Avery was shorter, weaker, no match. He thrashed uselessly. Adrian ignored him and turned to me. You okay? I shook my head and gave a wobbly smile. Made up your mind? Really breaking up? He asked again. I nodded hard. Yes. He released Avery and slammed a fist into his face. Avery crashed to the floor. Lola shrieked and rushed over. Everyone else stared, frozen. You're insane, Adrian. Why hit me? Lola hauled him up. Blood seeped through his fingers, speech slurred. Nothing special. You irritated me, Adrian said, flexing his knuckles. Want me to keep going? A few guys were on their feet, bad odds. Forget it. Let's leave. We sat in Adrian's car without driving off. Tears streamed like they were free. I used every tissue in the console. Finally, I dabbed my cheeks with his shirt hem. Okay, stop crying. He tucked me against his chest, stroking my hair. If you can't bear the breakup, tell your dad to squeeze Avery's old man. I sobbed louder. Even Adrian knew I'd only been Avery's girlfriend because Richard pulled strings. I'm not heartbroken, just furious I was stupid enough to love him. I wasn't merely dumb, I was blind. Adrian cupped my face, thumbing tears away. Eyes grow clearer with tears, hearts grow gentler through pain. You're still young. Once blind is allowed, just keep them open from now on. I sniffled and burrowed back into him. Gradually craving his pecs eclipsed breakup grief. I dried my face on his chest, smearing salt on purpose. Oops, ruined your shirt. He checked the dashboard clock. No cops by now means no one called. Come to my place, I'll cook. Adrian's condo was pure him. Monochrome, punctuated by ruthless green plants. Cold yet alive, his fridge rivaled a gourmet market. After dinner I sprawled on his sofa, belly round. He brought me lemonade. Still sore? I can massage it out. Seeing my hesitation, he added, athlete self-massage all the time, I'm decent. Sure you don't want to try? In for a penny. He lifted my leg onto his, kneading slow circles. Pure bliss. Carbs and comfort shut my eyes. I woke curled in Adrian's arms, in Adrian's bed. Dawn glowed. His sleeping face looked boyish. I slid a hand under his t-shirt, tracing every ridge. Just as I squeezed, his voice floated down. Feeling better already? Heartbreak demands a getaway. Adrian insisted. Best friends don't let friends heal alone. I waved him off, not wanting to impose. He glowered. Refuse and you're relegating me to acquaintance. I'd lost a boyfriend. I wouldn't lose a friend. Under his glare I caved. He planned the route, booked flights, packed my bags. On a South Pacific beach we watched the sunset while he snapped photos. I hadn't thought of Avery once, until he texted. Serena, Mom and Dad want you for dinner tonight. I knew Sterling Logistics was bleeding again. Whenever Charles needed Richard, they summoned me. A few polite words over roast chicken, and the contracts were signed. Not anymore. Avery, did you forget to mention we broke up? His reply came fast. Come tonight and I'll pretend you never left, or slapped me. I sent a picture of turquoise water and palms. Sorry, I'm in Tahiti. Can't teleport. Then block and delete. Back home, suitcase in tow, I headed straight to Adrian's. Foreign food had left me craving his cooking. Fed and happy, I called my parents, they asked me over. I walked in, straw hat for Richard, Tahitian pearls for my mother, and saw Avery. He stood, reaching for my bags. The tan suits you, prettier than ever. I sidestepped and handed the gifts to Mom. What are you doing here? He trailed me. You weren't home, so I waited here. I dried my hands. Avery, Sterling's problems are yours and your father's to solve. 2 grown men shouldn't chase me for bailouts. Dad had already told me Charles came begging. He'd help, if it gained us anything. I told Richard to walk away if it didn't. Business is for profit, not charity. Avery pumped lotion into my palm. I'm here because I miss my girlfriend, nothing else. Odd. 10 years and he'd never missed me, only complained I clung. Too late, I'm not his girlfriend. Then call Lola, she's the one wearing your jade bracelet. He produced a box and opened it. It's yours. I never gave it to her, she grabbed it. He caught my wrist, trying to slide it on. I don't take back things I've given away. They're dirty now. I flung it, the bracelet clattered across the tiles intact. Invoice me. Then leave. Eyes red, he retrieved it. 10 years, Serena. You can't just switch off. I thought so too, until I walked away. A decade stuck in place. The moment I let go, I soared. I feel nothing for him now. Avery, you call those 10 years a relationship. When I look back, all I see is groveling, contempt, humiliation, and mockery. Avery panicked, desperate to defend himself. I was wrong before. I cared too much about face. Afraid people would say I was only with you to climb your family. I was rebellious. The more my father told me to treat you right, the more I refused. My inferiority and arrogance blinded me, Serena. I love you. Love like this deserves to be spoken aloud. Dad asked if I had really let Avery go. 10 years of giving. Cut off just like that. I reassured him again and again. Dad, sunk costs don't factor into major decisions. I know that. Dad looked pleased. All right. Starting today you stick with me. The family empire will land on you eventually. Training begins now, not too late. I asked why he hadn't started grooming me sooner. He shot me a glare. Head over heels for a punk like Avery? I didn't dare hand the company over. Lucky, reined in at the cliff's edge, turned back in time. So being with Avery had actually blocked my money path. Avery came looking several more times, each gaunter, each more pathetic. His family's empire was hemorrhaging. His father wouldn't spare him a kind glance. Yet every visit he swore he loved me. Avery, you once said there's no real feeling between people, only interests. Then what possible interest do you represent to me now? And how much of that love you keep shouting is real? Lola rang me up, sobbing so hard she could barely breathe. Serena, I'm sorry. Please tell Avery to stop wrecking me. I never meant to upset you, sorry. I was swamped, no time to dig into Avery's sudden switch. He began bombarding me with long, tortured essays. Deep self-psychoanalysis, memories of what he once thought and felt. I couldn't be bothered. I had DeepSeek summarize. I'm scum, but I have excuses. You're great. I love you. Oh, so much hot air. I started spending more and more time with Adrian. hungry for his body, and just as hungry for his cooking. Still, worry needles me. Adrian, I'm not looking to date right now. Won't whatever this is block you from finding a real girlfriend? He doesn't think about himself, only about teasing me. What? Someone's that unforgettable you're swearing off love, keeping it strictly bodies, no feelings allowed. I pinched his chest hard. Pale skin blushed red instantly. I kissed the mark tender again. That has nothing to do with him. I'm afraid your parents will push you to marry, and you won't know how to explain me. He rolls on top, pinning my wandering hands. Scared? I'll take you home then. As my good friend, you wouldn't refuse that favor, right? Before I can answer, his mouth seals mine. After a breathless bout, he cradles me and produces a ring from nowhere. Serena, marry me. We click in bed, we vibe in life. Why waste time dating when we can skip to the finish? I figure dating is a hassle, and life without Adrian tastes bland. I nod yes, then hesitate. You and Avery were best. If I marry you, won't it wreck your bro code? Adrian slides the ring on, scoffing coldly. You think I put up with garbage like him for fun? Ignoring the first half, I wiggle my fingers, egging him on. Trash-talking your fiancé's ex, so classy. He snatches my hand, slips a finger into his mouth, bites gently. Serena, mentioning your ex in front of your fiancé? Time for punishment. The first night begging for mercy encore begins. Ruthless thrusts between questions. Serena, open your eyes. Who am I? Adrian, you bastard, MMPH. Wrong answer. Not bastard, your husband. At the engagement party, Avery crashes in. His father had sworn to mine he'd keep Avery away. Avery shoves past security, jabbing a finger at Adrian. Serena, you can't be with Adrian, he's scum. He says pick a woman soft and obedient, never a trust fund. And real men stay bosses, can't live under a woman's gaze. He's lying. You'll regret it. Adrian waves security to haul Avery out. Classic divide and conquer. Guilty conscience talking. That night I pin his hand, demand an explanation. Girl I liked had a boyfriend, saw her miserable, so I grabbed a shovel and dug the wall. Simple. He held treasure and squandered it, can't blame me. Plus, you plainly wanted my body. We're mutual. Infuriating. I never spotted his long game. I kick at his abs, he catches my ankle midair. Serena, you still want happiness in this lifetime? I yank back, he grips tighter. If you falter, I'll go find another man. Smiling, he pulls me close. You won't. You know you love me. Wanting to argue, I won't betray my heart. Truth, I love him inside out, body and soul. I don't know when it started, but it runs deep. Half a year later I hear about Avery again. His family empire is battered. His brothers and father blame him. Luckily he's handsome. Some sugar matron will bankroll him, but he has to play escort. Avery refuses. Lola, now kept by Avery's brother, offers to spike his drinks to keep the ladies happy. The roofie-grade aphrodisiac is vicious. Avery performs, the matrons applaud. Once sober, he turns into a ghost. Cameron must be poured down again and again. Soon he's broken. In despair he drags Lola and drove off a cliff. Before that he mails me the jade bracelet. And one last text. In this life I hate trading on looks most. My mother waited hand and foot on my father. A perfect trophy, still living on glances. I wanted to rise, yet Dylan forced me to curry favor with you. I didn't hate you. I hated the useless me. But who admits failure easily? The kinder you were, the more pathetic I felt. Serena, believe it or not, I truly loved you. Only that love hid inside layers of masks, warped into a monster even I couldn't recognize. I'm sorry for every wound I gave. Now I know what the drug does, how frantic and burnt you must have felt the night I walked out. If I'd stayed, maybe everything would differ. 10 years, and I never really had you once, what a waste. Now I'll atone for my sins. No, this isn't about you. I can't accept this self any longer. I love you. I'm sorry. Be happy, Serena. Goodbye. Thanks for listening to today's story. If you like this video, please like and share with friends. We look forward to your thoughts in the comments. Feel free to share your views, and don't forget to subscribe for more great stories. See you next time.